Welcome to the Magma Planet Challenge Episode 4. In the last episode, I have scouted the escape target planet, and now I will work on draining the magma to open up a way to surface. Since we no longer need the telescope now, I am deconstructing the entire rocket and the platform. I am sweeping the obsidian up to the leftmost storage bin because I will need to build obsidian ladders and tiles where I am draining the magma on top of me. Hot obsidian debris inside the storage bin will also hit the tile below, but since the tile is not touching anything else, it is probably fine. After a rocket is deconstructed, it will eject all the materials inside, including gas and liquids, which will be contained inside bottles. If I didn't have any liquid in the previous rocket, I probably could have just built it in the vacuum area, but that might still leave me with hot debris after deconstructing, so I still try to fit it inside the base to play safe. I noticed some of my bionics has minor injuries, but since the default threshold of triage card is 70%, they will not try to heal on their own until their health point is below 70. So I decided to adjust the threshold and force them to heal back to full while I have some spare time. I'm extending the tiles further to make the vacuum border on the left. Later, I will drop the water down by gravity to clear the way. It is also about time to make some carbon dioxide for rocket fuel. I will at least need to travel 2 hecks with rocket, so that would be about 34 kilograms of carbon dioxide needed. A coal generator produces 20 grams of carbon dioxide per second, or 12 kilograms per cycle, so I'll have to leave it running for at least 3 cycles. Running a coal generator for a full cycle requires 600 kilograms of coal. I do have enough coal since I'm not really spending it on anything else. So I'm not researching or using a smart battery. I could always turn it off if I don't need the generator anymore. Normally, in my Bionics run, I will choose the skill Booster Processing 1 to give them an extra booster slot early on. But this time, I'm not really making that much booster for most of them to have 3 boosters. So I chose the schematic skill instead to give 2 athletics for all of them. Adding up with the advanced schematic skill, they'd have 4 more athletics, and so they'd have a better chance to escape once the most dangerous job inside the Magma is finished. I will also be redistributing the boosters, so the bionics that go to work inside Magma will have the most digging and building speed and finish as fast as possible. After redistributing the boosters, I will also have to reassign the job priority for the bionics accordingly. Now I'm preparing to pump the carbon dioxide. Normally, the gas won't flow when there is no white port for the gas to flow to, but I can use a gas bridge at the end to kind of force the gas to flow without having to decide where it should really go. This is a trick I use in some of my speedruns to save maybe 20 or 40 seconds of time waiting for the gas to be pumped. This challenge is really not a speedrun, but doing this could still make me visualize how much carbon dioxide I already have in the pipes. By the way, all of my 3 starting bionics are almost identical besides their names, because the bionic bug for them doesn't really matter. The 4th bionics is kind of different, because it started with a bionic bug that debuffs its construction speed. That's why I named it No Build, to remind that I better not making it a builder. Now I have finished the astronomy for telescope and crafted a piloting booster. I'm deconstructing the soldering station, and I'm rebuilding the supercomputer, because I guess I can't escape quickly enough before the magma melt through my ceiling. So I will still have to research insulated tiles after all. I have already gave up using niobium as building material, but I'm still focused digging niobium on the left because they are way softer than obsidian, so I could open up the bigger hole faster this way than digging obsidian or abyssalite. I plan to use obsidian for the insulated tiles, so I will never have to worry about magma melting my ceiling again. because obsidian melting point is about 2700 degrees, well above the usual 1500 degrees or 1600 degrees of magma. Now, with a careful positioning and disallowing other bionics with door access, I've made exactly one bionic delivering hot obsidian from the left to the liquid log to the right without boiling it. This is one of the ways to safely move hot debris past the liquid log that I showed in the last episode. The obsidian will start heating up the tile below it, so I am deconstructing that tile. I'm also controlling the amount of obsidian moving in, just enough for building the number of tiles I want, so I don't heat up my base too much. Now the door access denies everyone from going past the liquid log. To make sure, they will only use the obsidian from the storage bin inside the base to supply the insulated tile construction. Since this area is already too hot for quite a few cycles, I guess I would have to scout a few bionics to finish the insulated tiles. After some of the insulated tiles is finished, I built more regular tiles inside to cool the area down a little bit. Some of my bionics are scalded too much and needed time on the triage cut to recover, so I am reassigning the boosters once again. Okay, the right side of the ceiling is basically all replaced with insulated tiles now. I am now bringing down this water pool to clear a way for going up. The bionics have a special weakness. When they are exposed to water, polluted water, brine, or salt water, they will get the liquid exposure debuff, which gives them 200% of stress per cycle. This is much more serious than the penalty of a regular duplicate. But if it's just a brief moment working in the water, it's still fine. In fact, in the very first cycle of this challenge, some of my bionics jumped right into the water pool at the bottom to create vacuum. And they're still below 60% stress after the work. At least you could say working in the water is still way better than working in magma. I'm counting the length of my pipes with a digging tool. Looks like I already have 34 kilograms of carbon dioxide inside the pipes. So I don't need this pump working anymore. Now I'm building some tiles on the top left so I can create a vacuum layer later. I think the left side of the ceiling won't heat up that fast because there's an obsidian and abyssalite border on the left. So I'm just using igneous rock insulated tiles for now. This is the picture taken from cycle 1 and cycle 24, and you can see how much the magma has invaded into my base. They are just about 2 tiles away from melting everything and make the magma officially contact with my ceiling. Maybe I could have scouted a little bit less if I made the insulated tiles earlier, but I was hoping to escape the planet with as little research as possible. And it's hard to estimate the heat invasion speed initially. At least, it's still not too late to insulate now. It's also important to have another layer of tile to cover the insulated tiles. If gas is directly exposed to the potentially hot insulated tiles due to the heat exchange mechanics, the solid to gas heat exchange rate would be about 25 times faster than solid to solid. Now the insulated tiles replacement is done, we can go back on the left to prepare for our ultimate challenge. At this moment, there are no construction or sweeping orders on the right, so I could openly access of the liquid luck to everyone without worrying they will bring something hot to the right. I'm starting to use obsidian ladders now to prevent them being melted later and make my bionics stuck. I'm moving the obsidian to the storage bin on top so they could collect the construction materials as fast as possible. I'm placing the blueprints that I plan to build once I break into the magma, but I will make sure everything is prepared before I actually open. I didn't build my ladders in a straight line because my plan is to make the magma fall from the black line and the duplicates climb on the white line, so they could get out from magma contact as soon as possible. Usually, a little drip of liquid will not react with other things until they fall to the ground. But when there's so much magma draining, they will start piling up on top of each other and become a real liquid tile, which will scald duplicates and exchange heat with its neighboring tiles. I only have about 1 ton of algae left, which will last for about 4 cycles, and I want to keep some for emergency reserve on the rocket. So I will use electrolyzer to make oxygen instead. My base interior is about 40 to 50 degrees, but my water is still relatively cool, so I'm just snaking the pipe a bit to more or less cool down the base before it is sent to electrolyzing. Ooh, so much rocks on the top are melting into magma quickly. If I didn't transition into insulated tiles, the colony would be in serious danger now. I'm building the electrolyzer naked without any additional cooling or design. Sometimes we might be afraid that electrolyzing will cook the base, but running it for a few cycles doesn't really have much effect on the base temperature. In fact, a naked electrolyzer is often the solution to a new colony that is near suffocating but cannot build the proper electrolyzer system in time. Having hydrogen flowing randomly and heating up the base a little bit is still much better than suffocating. I'm deconstructing building near the liquid lug because I need to build new triage cards for the upcoming battle. If a duplicate is ever incapacitated, there's only a 120-second countdown for another duplicate to rescue them to a triage card. Therefore, a closer triage card would mean better survival chances for the duplicates. The notification said a tile has melted. That is a tile left outside of insulated tiles, so don't need to worry. Now it is the time for battle. I have healed my duplicates, adjusted the schedule so they have refilled their power banks and oxygen tanks. I am opening up the magma. I have 4 duplicates, but I will not be sending them all at the same time, because there are not that many jobs available at the same time for 4 duplicates. And I want to keep a relatively healthy duplicate to rescue the incapacitated workers. So I am using door restriction to keep 1 duplicate in the base. So it begins. Tiles are being built and dupes are being scalded. Could my dupes finish the job in time? Yes, I made it. I have infiltrated and isolated a big area of magma, with only one dupe incapacitated, but the dupe would be rescued in time. So, this is the price for draining this much of magma. My dupes have done very well, and they deserve some nice healing, another downtime, before they could have another fight against magma. We're not really caring about the magma above my base ceiling anymore. All we need is to clear out magma once more, then we can get to the surface and build the rocket to escape. But I didn't realize there's actually another serious problem that will catch me by surprise. Please like and subscribe and don't miss out on the next video. Thanks for watching.